Welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's me, it's the G.O.C, and thanks for being here for this series of world-class championship wrestling retro review from the lounge of Chaos Corner, covering the legendary feud between Michael Hayes, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, and Buddy Jack Roberts, the fabulous Freebirds, and the Von Erichs, mainly consisting of Kevin, Kerry, and David Von Erich. What we have coming up here in this 7th segment of the episodes, we've covered the lumberjack match between the Freebirds and the Von Erichs. We covered the Texas Tornado bout from 1983. I was a mere 21 years old at that time. Let that sink in. Talk about retro review. We covered from August of 83 the 6-man tag team titles between the Freebirds and the Von Erichs from the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. We did veer off a little bit to get a history of some of the matches for the area of world-class championship wrestling and the territory in 83, 84. And we had Bruiser Brody and Terry Gordy and Freebird Michael Hayes and Bruiser Brody. So that was some good stuff to get off and venture on the feud. And we are back here at December 31st, 1983 from the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas to continue this feud and perhaps the final segment for now on the Legendary Feud, and then we'll fast forward to WCW where Jimmy Jam Garvin came along with the Freebirds and the big changes there. But here in this bout, what we're about to cover here, Bill Mercer will be your special guest referee here back on the network with me, and I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. You know that at this point, it's not Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy. At this point, Michael Hayes had lost he was banished from the territory for a year, I believe, and a loser leaves town against Kerry Von Erich. You remember he attacked the debut of Mike Von Erich, and this is where Mike Von Erich debuts for the legendary Von Erichs. Let's listen to Gordy and Buddy Jack.
I've been waiting on for a long time. It's finally come. Mike Von Erich, you are stupid enough to step up in the ring with the Freebirds. Now listen, boy, like I said before,
Bam Bam.
Pros now. You're stepping up in the
I hope
ring
you can
with
hear
the
this.
pros, and
No copyright.
And after tonight, Jack,
Public information.
all this right here because your brother's going to have to leave the state of Texas, and my brother's coming back. What do you got to say?
Talking about Michael Hayes.
I got to say, Terry Gordy, hey, I've had to wear this wig for a long time, but I don't have to wear it no more. My hair's coming back.
Buddy Jack.
Michael Hayes is going to come back. I'll tell you.
Again, he attacked Michael Von Erich in his debut. We know that. And then they lost the leave the territory against Kerry. If I got my facts straight, coming up, it's going to be Terry Gordy and Buddy Jack, who's the much older of the Freebirds. You know that. Is going to take on David Von Erich and Michael, who's just debuting here as we transition into 84. This is, 30-something years ago? So bear with me. And again, we know the time frame. We don't want any copyrights. That's why I'm going to ramble on for a little bit here. Follow me on all social media platforms, and you know what they are. Here on YouTube at the Guardian of Chaos on YouTube. On Twitter, it's at Big Daddy G.O.C. And the G.O.C. stands for the Guardian of Chaos. Follow me on Instagram at the Guardian of Chaos. Follow me on Facebook on my 2 accounts, J Brony. Yeah, I get it. J Brony and Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Also on Rumble, Truth Social, Gab, Gitter, at Parlor. I cover it all in the IWC. So follow me on those social media platforms. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys. It's a nice distraction here in 2022 amongst the madness. And I like doing the retro reviews. Listen, I watch AEW, WWE, MLW, NWA, all the big groups, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Forbidden Door, everything that's coming up. But go back to this. Let me be quiet here. It's the main event. Freebirds. Von Erichs. You know the story. The crowds stood throughout the entire bouts, popped for everything. Unbelievable reactions. No guardrails. Let me be quiet here for a second. Wearing the old stars and bars, the Confederate gimmick back then. Buddy Roberts with the dreads. Bam Bam with the typical cowboy hat. Remember, Michael Hayes had been banished. 6'4", 295 they have Gordy listed as. 5'11", 220 for Buddy Jack. Michael Von Erich here, again, on the scene, 220 pounds. They're saying 6'2" for Mike. High-flying Kevin Von Erich. I thought it was David, but 6'3", 240 for Kevin Von Erich, an incredible athlete. For some reason, I thought it was still David, but you know what Bully Ray said to me many, many times. Busted Open Radio fame, two-time Hall of Famer, Team 3D, perhaps the greatest of all time in tag teams. Give the Guardian of Chaos 7 spots, he'll fuck up 6 of them. 3 spots, he'll fuck up. I get it. Freebird, that's the stipulations on this match. Freebird leaving town. Terry Gordy on the mic live for 1983. Gordy was gold. And you know the purpose of Buddy Jack being with the Freebirds. He served a good purpose. And he'll have to leave for Texas for 1 year is the stipulation, because we know Michael Hayes, I'm repeating, has been bounced out. That's why it's not Gordy and Hayes right now, or it's not a 6-man. And Bronco Lubitsch is the referee. And the Stips here in 83, again, they've run this storyline in all the current organizations over and over in all the local territories, from Georgia to Mid-South to Florida and every place in between, and even to current day. This was the golden era. So if the Freebirds win, Michael Hayes comes back. One of the Von Erichs is gone. Storylines, psychology, emotional investment, jammed to the rafters. This is not the Sportatorium, the much bigger Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Buddy Roberts takes off the wig of the dreads, and you can see he's got the military blonde hair, bleach blonde hair back. Gordy and Kevin Von Erich start off here. This has been a good series of rivalries in world-class championship wrestling, specifically the Freebirds and the Von Erichs, so I'm fans of these guys for many, many years, and currently follow, Ross and Marshall, who are in MLW, carrying on the Von Erich generation, the Von Erich name, unbelievable. And of course, Miranda Gordy for Terry Gordy. And Doc Hendricks is still at the WWE. Who knew, right? Rest in peace to Von Erichs, Buddy Jack. This has been a lot of fun, flashing back. Gordy with the flying cross-body press, and he missed on Kevin Von Erich, and Kevin hits one on him out of nowhere. Athletic, barefooted Kevin Von Erich, perhaps the best. They say David. I look back at all the tapes and the history that I've been in my over 50 years as a SMARC, a fan, a researcher, historian, a scout, a student of the game, and my over 3 decades as a manager and what I do currently. I would have to give maybe an edge. I think Kevin Von Erich could have been the greatest of all time. And Fritz, the old man, was something. David was a natural. Kerry speaks for himself. Mike in his own right. But Kevin Von Erich, in my opinion, is tremendous. Right now, I got a nice front face locker, behind locker, on the mat. That's how they do it back in the day on Buddy Jack Roberts, who was the much older of the Freebirds and taught these guys and controlled them on the road. Because let's face it, the Freebirds lived the gimmick, as I said many times. Skinners at the whole 9 yards, the lifestyle, young guys in their 20s, making money, selling out wherever they went. And the first to bring back, or to start with rock entrances and music and their influence on the business. And I've said many times, who would have thought Michael Hayes is still be in the business? I had a story that I said in one of the earlier segments. We were in, Baltimore or Virginia or something on a brief tour in the late 80s where I was just learning with my buddy Lenny and hanging out with the Samoan SWAT team, fortunate enough to get exposed to it. And, Doom and the Steiners, and got to meet all them and Jack Victor. It was great. And Michael Hayes, we hung out a couple of nights and traveled out of the arena and throwing beer cans and everything else at the cars, because they were such heels. At that point, late 80s, the feud with the Road Warriors with the SST, and Michael Hayes was in his own feuds, and it was, didn't meet Gordy or Buddy Jack, but we're in the locker room areas, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad. Stomach was upset, I had the bubble guts, you know what that's like. And so I went, in the locker room. Michael Hayes comes out of the shower, got the towel off, the dog's tail. I'm always put in compromising positions. And they say, yeah, man, and that voice, Michael Hayes can only do it. I don't want to screw up my voice for Wild Wild Wrestling and Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling at the Cadillac Ranch on Fight TV, coming up this Wednesday, June 29th, for Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. But Hayes comes out and is coming out of the shower and says, man, what crawled up your ass and died? Well, it is what it is. Good guy, great guy. So it's nice to do this. And right now, Buddy Jack and Mike Von Erich in the ring. Very slight, but still in good shape. Mike Von Erich. A lot of people said he, couldn't live up to the name. Nice standing drop kick on Buddy Jack Roberts. Just like Buddy Jack, Mike, they were all there for a purpose. They served a purpose in my mind, looking back on it, reviewing these for the hundreds of times. This is great, the retro reviews, covering this and bringing me back to my early 20s, right before I decided stepping into it, but been a fan already for what, a good 10 years, dozen years of my life, and here I am at that point in 1983, 20, 21 years old. Here we are in 2022. The journey, man. See you down the road, brother. Right now, Mike Von Erich on the mat with a side headlock on Buddy Jack, trying to roll him over for the pin. Simple. Keeping it on the apron. Keeping it in the ring. For as crazy as they can get in the ring. I'm not saying it's the greatest compared to now. I've been saying it through all these videos. But just the reaction, the crowds sold out wherever they went. The pop. And just the frenzy of that time with the impact that these guys had on that territorial wrestling system. I don't think we'll ever get it back. But natural, raw emotion. That kayfabe was still alive, baby. It just was. And Michael, I think, did okay for himself. Hey, it is what it is. Not everybody could be the greatest. Nice drop kick by Michael on Terry Gordy, who was on the ring apron. Again, over on Buddy Jack with the side headlock. In comes Kevin Von Erich. Again, Kevin Von Erich is unbelievable. And you can see the influence on Ross and Marshall now in the MLW of his training. Oh, does it get any better than that? Again, watched a lot of documentaries. Go out, fans, and do your research, do your homework, your due diligence. That's what we do here in Chaos Corner, in the lounge. It's out there on the network. It's on YouTube. It's for public consumption. It's whether you choose to do the work or not. So it's good. A world class, the nice banner across the ring, the crowd at Reunion Arena. Again, the territorial systems when you talk about Mid-South or you talk about Houston or St. Louis or Memphis, all the different territories, Louisiana, Florida, even the Northeast, New York, Boston, Toronto, Minnesota, Indiana. You talk about the different territorial systems out to Los Angeles and the Pacific Northwest. To do your research down to the Caribbean, Puerto Rico. There was really no other time like it, the territorial systems, kind of like that in the Northeast New England tri-state area because of so many organizations and shows being run and everyone's able to expose themselves and get out there and get to work. So it's great for everybody. Good time, but not like this. Again, so I can get it with the young guys now who are in their early 20s, mid-20s, who feel like how I did back then. So I get it. No old man here complaining. I appreciate everything, but just the difference. Now Terry Gordy taking over on Mike Von Erich. Von Erich came in and he tried his best, Mike Von Erich, and I think he held it up for the Von Erich name. Gordy laying the bad mouth on him right now, as only Terry Gordy. Listen, Gordy was one of the best big men ever. The Halls. Got to get it on the throat. Again, Wild Wild West Wrestling coming up June 29th on Fight TV for Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. It's going to be a 21 and over unbelievable show at the legendary Cadillac Ranch. Yours truly with Talking Tommy. Big shout out to the professor from Pro Wrestle Zone podcast, PWZ. Buddy Jack and Michael now tagged by Gordy. Big knee by Buddy Jack. Again, underrated. He was there for a reason, a purpose. We get it if you do your research and your homework, but he was a solid grappler in his own day. Nice swinging neck breaker by Buddy Jack on Mike Von Erich. Again, I believe both Mike Von Erich, Buddy Jack, underrated. He made the Freebirds, Buddy Jack. Yeah, he was there for a purpose, and listen, we all get it. Gordy and Hayes. That's who I like, That's who I think of. Again, Gordy trying to take over Mike. Mike rolled out of the way. And again, there was a lot going on personal in the personal lives. We know that. Look at everyone ringside there. Kevin's in right now on Gordy. Mike finally made the tag. Listen to the crowd. Listen to the reaction. Listen to the pop. Do you hear that nowadays? The consistency? People on the edge of their seats coming back each week. A lot of these matches weren't long matches, but full of action. Simple. Told the story. and the fans always came back for quite a while in this area. Misses the top flying cross-body press by Kevin Von Erich. Gordy up to his feet. Again, just gives you chills here in the crowd. Just like when the Road Warriors were down in the NWA in their territories and their entrance theme. Unbelievable. The Asiatic spike by Gordy. He's got it sunk in on Kevin Von Erich. You can see Buddy Jack in the corner. The legendary ref again, who was there forever in his own right, Bronco Lubitsch. Nice reversal by Kevin Von Erich. Kind of like a stunner on Terry Gordy. Who got the worst of it there, though? Maybe Kevin did. Bam Bam's going for the tag. No. Kevin applies the claw, the legendary claw once again, the Von Erich claw. Has it on the big man, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Buddy Jack interferes. Mike with the drop kick. Again, undervalued athletically. I get it. It's tough to live up to Kevin, Kerry, and David. Think about that itself. Buddy Jack and Michael squaring off here at the Reunion Arena. StaWars. December 1983. StaWars here. Unbelievable. Buddy Jack now taking over on Kevin, as is Terry Gordy. Double teamed. Mike is out of the area. Outside. Wait. Santa Claus is there. Look, the crowd's going crazy off to the side. What the hell is that here? Santa Claus is fighting a fan? Some guy in a Santa Claus suit? And there's Gordy and Buddy Jack taking over on Kevin. Michael's making his way back by the ringkeeper's table. This is pure chaos, pun intended. Go back and check this out. Gordy, beautiful suplex on Kevin Von Erich. Now Buddy Jack is going after Michael. Michael comes in, drop kick on Buddy Jack. Beautiful drop kick on Terry Gordy with Kevin on top, and Kevin's with the cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got him locked in, Kevin, but Bronco Lubitsch nowhere to be seen. David Manning out of nowhere. Von Erichs had it won. Mike and Kevin had it won. Sunset flip by Kevin. Round kick by Michael. Down goes Gordy. Here's the count by Manning. Good 3. It's over. And Mike and David Von Erich are your winners. Santa Claus is in there. Is that a fan? Who the hell is the Santa Claus? Oh, and he knocks out Mike Von Erich. Santa laying the smack down. Kayfabed again. It's Michael Hayes. It's Freebird Michael Hayes, who wasn't even supposed to be here. Here at StaWars, the Reunion Arena. Listen to the crowd. The Von Erichs won. But right now, Hayes, we're in Santa, pile driver on Mike Von Erich. Listen to the crowd. This story's been told many times since then at a lot of other organizations. So they're all in the ring right now. It's Michael Hayes, it's Buddy Jack, it's Gordy. And Hayes is out of there. Exit stage left by Freebird Santa Michael Hayes. And now back in the ring, it's Kevin and Gordy, Buddy Jack and Michael. Bronco Lubitsch is up. David Manning's in there. What the hell are you doing? Here's Kerry Von Erich. Just soak it in. I don't want any copyrights on this. No. The ref is awarding it to the Freebirds. Buddy Jack and Gordy. What's going on here? We're going to listen for an explanation. StaWars, 1983, world class. Go back and check this out in the retro review. We're almost 20 minutes in. This was well worth it for the 7th segment in this series. I appreciate everyone being here. They're jumping around, Gordy and Buddy Jack. Kevin has no clue. Kerry's tending to Mike Von Erich. Lubitsch and Manning are discussing it. You hear Bill Mercer in the background. And that's why I ramble on here, because I can do this to make it relatable to you, the viewer. All right, here's Manning. You can't really hear it, but we know what happened. Bronco Lubitsch is the official referee, Manning saying. And Lubitsch says Kevin and Mike win. And listen, the fans are throwing all kinds of objects in the ring. Beer, soda, hot dogs. And now look, Kerry and Kevin going to town on Gordy and Buddy Jack. Discus punch by Gordy. Over goes Kerry on Gordy. Over the top rope. And the fans are in a frenzy. This is when the fans were rabid. Mike Von Erich is in the corner, selling the side. the side work there. Look at the crowd. Reunion Arena. Gordy and Buddy Jack, Michael Hayes had already left. Covered, getting beer thrown at him.
There's only one Freebird left.
So now, that's it. As you heard the David Manning, or whoever the announcer was. Another Freebird gone for a year. That was the work. That was the gimmick, the angle, the emotional investment. I tell you about the storytelling and how they kept it simple in the territory of days. And this is what I try to bring to you. Plus, I enjoy doing it. The Von Erichs, this is where they were going in world class, and it split off a lot from here. We'll be back. Thanks for being here. Live to tape. Chaos Corner. In the lounge. Let's get some lunch.